And all hit really hard, and then Aura Sphere. I was definitely considering running, just based on this team, running Water Pulse. Sorry, running Scald. Didn't feel super necessary. I don't think I'd really want a Scald burn is like Staraptor or Altaria. I'd rather just be clicking Ice Beam against those. And also Confusion is never a bad thing either. So that is the Blastoise set. Next up we've got a Choice Scarf Tapu Lele. Basically it's a good emergency answer to a +1 Altaria because that's what it's EV'd for. It's also just really good in general against like, I think it's against, yeah, it's EV'd for a Jolly Altaria or a timid Altaria. 3 moves, basically you need to click Psychic only, but there are 2 Dark types in this team, so I think Moonblast is very important, and it's pretty much always going to run Moonblast anyways. Focus Blast hit those Steel types, and Aromatherapy is just because there's really no move that I needed more, so I ran Aromatherapy. I am wondering if it's worth running Psyshock, actually, but that hits Cobalions, much stronger physical defense stat. So I'm curious if it makes a difference on Cobalt. Yeah, that's a kill, and that's a pretty important kill at the very end. Like, Psyshock probably won't even be close. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with Psychic. Obviously Psyshock hits Regice a lot harder than Psychic would. Although if Psychic is still 2 a KO, I'm probably gonna just go with that. I don't know. Alright, that's a tough call, but next we've got a tank, a really just defensive. This isn't even tank chomp, this is just defensive chomp. Endure, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Stealth Rock. It is our rocker. It also does a really good amount of time work against this team, especially if Infernape is physical. It also just endures really nice in those situations where like I could force those mons to hit me twice, and maybe even go out if there's no rocks field. Go take it out, take it back in later in the match. Get lots and lots of utility out of it. So it's basically our rocker, a really good answer to a lot of things, really good answers to Cobalion, a physical Infernape, something like a Staraptor is pretty well answered, as well as Drapion is pretty much hard answered, Honchkrow is really answered, so just really good all around. Next up we've got Jolteon, this is a really fast set, EV to outspeed, I believe, an Adamant +1, Adamant +1 Altaria. Thunder Wave is pretty much for Altaria, it doesn't really have a lot of use elsewhere, but Thunderbolt from there is just the spammable move of choice. Hidden Power Fire hits things like Steelix and Shaman harder than any other move we could have run. So that's that set. We've got Gengar with Will-O-Wisp and then 3 attacks. Will-O-Wisp is just because in situations where Gengar can't do a lot, something like a Drapion, and we're afraid to get Pursuit Trapped really badly, Will-O-Wisp is still kind of nice. In general, though, this thing just hits everything super hard with Sludge Bomb. I was considering running Z Focus Blast. Decided against it just because, although accurate Focus Blast is nice, the Life Orb Sludge Bomb actually secures a lot of KOs that I otherwise wasn't getting. And finally, we've got Skarmory. This is just a pretty standard defensive Skarmory, running Iron Head, but it's actually Spadef invested just because that lets us take on a especially offensive Altaria a little better. Especially offensive Altaria cannot 2-hit. It might be able to 2-hit KO this set. I'm not sure. Probably still can. But I know that the physical EVs that we're running are EV just so that a Staraptor, Reckless Staraptor, cannot KO us after rock damage, so to a KOS. So Skarmory can still take on Staraptor really well. Roost Up, Toxic, Defogger in case he feels like running Toxic Spikes, although with something like Gengar running around, highly doubt it. So, alright, so we're going to click Accept and get this game on the road. Alright, so Drapion is here. Drapion is immediately the thing we have to address because Tapu Lele cannot spam Psychics until that is gone. Garchomp does a ton of work against this team. Obviously, Steelix is kind of an answer to it, but if it has Ice Fang. But if anything that has Ice is obviously going to be an answer to Garchomp. But beyond that, does Steelix is I think, and then obviously HP Ice on one of these things is obviously a huge menace. Alright, so this game is going to be a good one, I hope. So I'm thinking right here the Blastoise lead is honestly safe 5 times out of 6. The Jolteon lead is always a good option, but he does have a couple Pokemon that pretty much mean Jolteon's just like crap. Gengar's not the lead. Garchomp's a good lead against 4 of this. I think Blastoise is going to be the lead. Tapu Lele, until we get some rocks on the field or something. It's worth noting this team doesn't have a hazard clearer. So rocks to break sturdy to do damage to things, especially when there's a pivot, is important. So I'm 2 pivots actually. So it's going to be Garchomp or... Let's look at what his probable leads are. Infernape's always a super likely lead. Rocks affect him a lot more than they affect me. Maybe not. But Infernape's always a very likely lead. So is Cobalion, whatever you want to say. So is the Steelix. All 3 of those are really well answered. If he answers, he probably won't lead Shaman or Drapion or Altaria. So I think the priority is going to be just getting up our rocks. Would have been nice to have Rapid Spin on this. I didn't end up needing Dark Pulse at all, but otherwise I just got walled by Jellicent. So it's going to be one of these 2, Garchomp or Blastoise. I'm going to prioritize getting my rocks up, as he does decide to lead, or she does decide to lead Infernape. The question here is, how much is an Infernape going to do to my Garchomp if it's kind of like a special set? Focus Blast is a lot, but highly doubt they're running Focus Blast. HP Ice would kill this set. In that situation, it's really good to Earthquake, though. And I also really, really want to get my rocks up, so we just end up trading rocks on turn 1. I'm just going to click which is honestly a fine trade for me. Blastoise would have been good there, but it's nice that I got my rocks up again because I break the sturdy, and so that's obviously very important, and a potential sash if Infernape comes in again. I think I'm just going to click Earthquake. Altaria's a likely switch in, but so is Shaman. But he would U-turn, or she would U-turn, and I don't want to take a U-turn on something stupid. So I think the play is going to be to Earthquake. And we get the crit, we get critted, but Infernape is down, actually. The crit's unfortunate, that's really unfortunate. So we get the kill on... Yeah, I mean, the thing is that crit's really unfortunate because it really reduces how much I can do against the 3 remaining Pokemon on this team. Or 3, because Garchomp just put in so much work. That's a pretty interesting play, the close combat. Just because, it's... that was never going to kill. Clearly wasn't Life Orb. It was probably a Sash set. And I figure if she's calcing it and she's a Sash set and didn't take in... Yeah, at this point it's not worth calcing that much, but... So I figure if this is the switch in, question is it worth just clicking Endure here? Do I switch out? Is it worth saving Garchomp? Garchomp feels very much worth saving against a team with like Drapion, when Skarmory could like hard answer this thing. What can Steelix like set up? If it does set up, it can't set up that well. I think Blastoise is actually a really safe switch here, unless it's gonna click Earthquake. In which case, Blastoise is not a super. Never mind. Although just clicking a move with Blastoise is pretty nice. And then when I Mega, I can click Ice Beam, or Water Pulse, I guess, or Aura Sphere. What to click? It's funny how the first time I got attacked was a crit, shooting start to a season. That is really true. I'm gonna go with Blastoise, I think. I don't think Garchomp's going to be able to touch this. My Garchomp set can't touch this thing. Yeah, Earthquake does 0. So I think Blastoise is the play. And we do see the Ice Fang. So I'm definitely going to click Ice Beam because there's a super obvious Shaman switch in here. Or I pull the aggressive double. And go into Gengar. This thing's not going to stay in on me. Well, I can always switch into Skarm on that, but I kind of want to go for the aggressive switch and go into Gengar. Definitely nice to break this thing's sash because I think Gengar can probably kill it now. Yeah, so it's nice. Sorry, this thing's 30. So Shadow Ball might even be able to do it. No, never mind. I just feel like in my mind, Steelix is super, super not bulky. I also really want to get my Mega Evolution up, though. So I think the play is going to be the Ice Beam here. Unless it's Aura Sphere. Steelix. Aura Sphere also can KO. Let's calc that Ice Fang damage. That's also kind of important. It's nice to have Chomp alive in the back, actually. Did 8.6 to my regular Blastoise. So it's probably really offensive, which leads me to believe it's probably just a tanky set. So definitely, I think the play is just to click. I mean, it obviously might easily not be an offensive set, but I can't outspeed Shaman. So I also really want to get that Mega Evolve up. So I think the play is going to be the Ice Beam and then switch into Skarmory. Aura Sphere actually can do a good chunk and force it to Seed Flare the next turn to keep itself alive. But when Aura Sphere kills Steelix the next turn, I'm like really, really into it. Okay, I'm going to click Aura Sphere. And actually, it's the very interesting. I guess if I clicked Ice Beam, that would have been awesome. Altaria gets grass moves. No, it doesn't. All right. Well, I'm just gonna click Ice Beam here. Would have been awesome to have clicked the Ice Beam, I guess. Didn't click it. Stand by not clicking it. I'm not gonna give this Altaria a chance to set up. Super weird switch, honestly. Cannot explain it, but I'm just going to click the Ice Beam. And Altaria is super slow and goes down. Alright then. That Altaria is... actually, I think I'm speed creeping a tiny bit. And so that... Oh wait, how much is my Blastoise running right now? 192. Oh, this is the wrong one. 192. So I'm running 196. And how much does Altaria? Wow. So that was actually, she's running no speed, and I won a speed tie. Unless she's speed reducing. So I got lucky there. I should have actually prepped that a little more. A tad lucky there, but all right. So I think the Skarmory switch is super the play here. And it's nice that I Mega Evolve because now my bulk is like, if you look at the bulk difference between Blastoise and regular Blastoise, that bulk difference is considerable with 20 extra defense and 10 extra special defense. I think obviously I have to go in, unless I want to go into Tapu Lele, but Skarmory is an easy play here. Tailwind, wow. Okay, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Does Cobaline come in here? I feel like it does. She doesn't just click Seed Flare. But what is Shaman's? I don't want to be in a situation where I'm just letting myself get swept by a Shaman, but Shaman's not that powerful unless she wants to start spamming Seed Flares here. So if Cobaline comes in, I have answers, I think. Like, Blastoise can always take one. So I'm just going to click the Toxic, and yeah, I think even this range, like, what does Cobaline get? Grass moves? None. Electric, it gets Volt Switch. So Blastoise can always take one. So this thing's probably setting up for itself right here. It's cool prep though. Although Skarmory gives no fucks, especially my specially defensive Skarmory. Alright, so clearly Steelix was what ended up coming in. Steelix doesn't get anything to hit me. Fire Fang? Yeah, right. I'm just gonna... Honestly, I'm just gonna switch back into Blastoise. No, I kind of like keeping Blastoise healthy. Might go into Garchomp. It's not worth securing the 6-0. Obviously, 6-0 is cool, but it's not worth forcing the 6-0 out. So I'm just going to play my best to win. At least that's the spread. Okay, so probably like that, no defense. Okay, so Garchomp takes a lot of attacks very well. You get nothing to hit me. Why was this your switch it? You get Curse, but you don't get anything to do with it. Honestly, is it worth defogging away to get free switches in here? Because I'm not going to do anything anyways. I'm just going to defog, and I get, unlike them, unlike Swablu, I can set up my rocks again later. So they do click Stone Edge. I'm just going to click, so that did nothing. I'm just going to click Roost. Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't just Roost. Or go into Chomp, but Chomp's going to die if I bring it in. But this team can't kill Skarmory anymore. So I just pretty much can stall out this game with Skarm. Yeah, this is a... I don't know how this team beats Skarm anymore. Nothing on this team can kill Skarm. What Pokemon does she have that threaten Skarm? Manectric, Fire Blast from Altaria, and Infernape. Infernape she let die instantly. So nothing can even, yeah. So, I mean, I'm not going to switch out. And she's going to run out of Stone Edges eventually. So like now I roost. See, easy. Obviously, this team toxing this team is now pretty useless, but Cobaline comes in, and now it's just an easy switch into Blastoise. Ooh, not an easy switch into Blastoise. Alright. Don't want Blastoise to die here. That did a lot more than I was expecting. We gotta calc this Cobaline. I didn't want to switch in. I guess Garchomp could have been a good switch, but I didn't want to switch in on a weakened Garchomp, you know what I mean? That was why that didn't come to mind instantly. Wow. That did a lot. It's actually probably a low roll, too. Oh, wait, that's not my set. That was a pretty high roll, actually. It was a mid roll. Or, yeah. Ooh, good plays. If this thing has Pursuit, I'm in a bad spot with it. This thing's one of my main ways to kill. But I'm just going to go into... I mean, yeah, Skarmory wins at the end, so right now I'm just fighting for differential. I'm going to keep Blastoise alive, so I'll just go into Skarm here. I mean, this thing gets Pursuit, right? Yeah, so... I mean, I can't really... I think just under prep. Okay, no Pursuit. Ooh, wow, that did a lot. So that did a pretty good amount. So we're just going to calc that with our Skarmory. What was the Drapion? Okay. Because Drapeon's not that powerful. So for it to do that much to our Skarmory, 28.7, it's either Adamant, which is possible. Let's try Jolly Choice Band. Okay, so it's probably just Adamant. This thing sets up, I'm in a really bad spot. Not that bad. I mean, So I think the play is going to be, now that I think this is the most likely set. Skarmory defense is -1. So the knockoff actually is unfortunate, but Garchomp can destroy this thing on a switch, and I'd rather really not force this into a crit situation. So I'm going to switch into Chomp here. Oh, and on a resisted hit. It's a good thing that didn't crit, I guess. Would be nice to get my rocks back up, but not really vital whatsoever, honestly. So I'm just going to click the Earthquake. Does Drapion get any ice moves? Ice Fang. Okay. Okay. I actually want to go back into Skarm here pretty badly. Actually, I think if this thing's running Ice Fang, which it probably is, I'm just going to click Endure. So I don't know if I outspeed or not yet, but I'm just going to click Earthquake here. I can still set up rocks on Steelix later. It's pretty nice. But Drapion goes down, and that was probably the best way left of his team to deal with Skarmory. I guess Shaman could in theory, but yeah, this team was just rampantly underprepared for Skarmory, it seems like, just because the two best. I mean, Altaria is not a good way to deal with Skarmory, and it still died early, and Infernape is a good way to deal with Skarmory, but just some bad plays at the start of the game obviously cost heavily. I mean, this Shaman clicked Tailwind. We don't know nothing about his set yet. I just want to see what this thing's gonna click. It's clearly physical, so it doesn't have Swords Dance, right? Nope. So there's not. Oh, it does have Swords Dance. Ooh, that's a little scary. Gengar and Tapu Lele can deal with it. Gonna let it click Roost. It would have been nice to have my lefties, obviously, because that ends up being that last little bit of healing, but ooh, here's a question. Are we feeling real enough to click Focus Blast? Shadow Ball, does Shadow Ball kill? No. No, we have an easy, safe switch in here. There's no reason to risk it. No reason to risk it for the biscuit. So, Heavy Slam, wow, that did a lot. Just gonna Iron Head. I mean, if we get this thing into a range where... Oh, actually, is he outspeeding Skarm? Is she outspeeding Skarm? If she outspeeds Skarm... No, I was outspeeding. Okay. If we get this thing into a range where Gengar kills with Shadow Ball, we're in a really, really good spot. And quite frankly, unless it's Assault Vest. Yeah, I just don't see how Swablu's going to come back from Skarmory. Swablu lived in England, I know, so I have to, that did nothing. Alright. Eventually, this will die. Eventually. Oh, that's bad. I mean, I'll still win, but this is my 6-0 right here. This is on the back of this Skarmory. Let's go! 6-0 Dreams lives on. Okay, so I'm getting kind of sick of this right now. So I'm wondering, can I switch Blastoise into an Ice Fang from an offensive Steelix and just kill it outright? Yes, I can. There's no attack that this thing has that could kill Blastoise, actually. And then Skarmory switches the next turn, fine. So I'm just gonna... I think the play here is to Aura Sphere, because it hits everything. And that's dead. Gets the Spadef drop. Highly unfortunate, obviously, but not something I can't play around. It's going to do like 25-ish, 23 to 20 to 25 probably next turn. Hopefully no drop here again. That's good. And now I'm just going to click Iron Head. So he gets the second drop there. So obviously we have to think about switching Skarmory out. The first hit did how much? Seed Flare did 11.7. So let's put in Seed Flare. That's definitely just that kind of set. That looks really likely. So Skarmory, on the other hand, is now at -2. It's at -4. So I can actually still stall this thing out a little bit, but not super well. So if I can get this thing in a range where yeah, I want to go into Gengar here really badly. All right, and I think that's going to be game. Question is, I guess I'll click Seed Flare from... I can think about preserving the 6-0 because I know Skarmory and company can win. Obviously, unless that's Scarf. So we're gonna see when that Cobaline outside. It only really ever was against Skarmory, so it might very well be Scarf. So I think we can't make the play. We're just gonna click Sludge Bomb. Now I think we're gonna click Shadow Ball because it always only click Close Combat or didn't switch his move, right? Yeah. I'm gonna click the... Actually, Will-O-Wisp isn't bad here. Now I'm gonna click Focus Blast, I think. That was a weird play to Air Slash there instead of Seed Flare. Can't decide what I want to do here. Do I have good switch-ins to... Like, Skarmory can't switch into if this thing's clicking Close Combat. But I'll sacrifice. Alright. If he clicks close combat here, we can win. Because if it's not Scarf, Tapu Lele can beat it. So I think the play is to just go into Scarm, no matter what. See what they click. I don't feel like I've played in a position where I'm playing risky. Honestly, so they click Zen Headbutt. Interesting. If they click Zen Headbutt here, definitely a Scarf set. So at this point, I think I can just go into Tapu Lele. Although I'm just going to click Iron Head here. Okay, so this thing is clicking just only Zen Headbutt. I guess I'll, no need to switch out. I don't want to risk, actually at this point, I take an Iron Head and I kill with Psychic, so. Get Tapu Lele kill this game. Obviously if it's Scarf, we're not in a good spot, but. And 6-0, a great game with Swablu. Honestly, I think the biggest problem she played really well in the back half of the game. Biggest problem was the under prep for Skarmory, left her really exposed to me, being able to stomach attacks all game long and just retaliate super hard when my attackers hit the field. I just spammed my powerful attacks and there wasn't a lot of switch-ins, especially once, no, honestly the whole game, every time I clicked an attack, something was like taking a chunk out of it, besides Iron Head from Skarmory. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. It was always very appreciated. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Krakenation out.